What is going on? Welcome to another episode of the Dent Digest live show. What's up, Alex?
Not much. Just got back in town.
I know he's out there playing with deer.
Yeah.
You know, I wish I had Alex's schedule.
Yeah.
How was it?
It's risky. It was fun. I was
Yeah.
out there for 6 days. But
Just playing in the dirt.
Yep, just playing.
Hell yeah, that's what we do, right? That's what we do is we play
Desert
in the
boy.
dirt. So besides that, how's work been?
Good. It slowed down last month, like in the middle of the month.
Yeah.
And I think it's gonna stay
Through the
that
holidays.
way. Yeah, through the holidays. But
yeah, holidays are tough. You know, it's that time that people pull back, you know, and save their money.
yeah, for sure.
So obviously everybody knows who our guest is since I posted it. And I kind of want to get into it. He's got a lot of cool stuff coming out, and you know, I'm gonna mention this right now. He doesn't know. I'm sure he can hear me. But one of his tools are pretty much my number one or number two top tool of the year. It's been a kick-ass tool. I've talked to everybody that I've talked to, for, you know, just saying how great the tool is, and that's the cold snap. I mean, it is. I keep telling you. I was telling Manny, I'm like, Manny, you got to get this, dude. Like, it's just a fantastic tool, you know. One of those tools that I use every day on every hail car, either to get the smaller dents out or reduce the bigger dents. Even on a crease in the door, I'm using it with the crease tab. You know, the larger tab that come in the set, I put Glexo on there because Glexo pulls different than all the Sergios. So
Yeah.
it's a freaking badass set. Something about the weight. And I'm not like Ken came out with his, and I get it. And I see that Fast PDRs come out with one, and VIP. I haven't tried any of theirs.
Henson's come out with one too, right?
Not saying that any of them are bad, but what I've tried, it is badass just because of the pure physical weight of it. Something about the weight is what it is. It's not about the size of the throw or it's something about that weight. Does it wear my ass out? Oh my God. It kills this whole section. I'll come home and I'm like, God damn, I am 46 years old. This old dog. But let me tell you, that freaking tool is sick. And it's not because I'm friends with Matt Boyette, because that goddamn tool makes me a shit ton of money. So, good. I've been telling you for months. I'm just some dummy dent guy that's friends with Matt Boyette trying to slay his tools for him. He doesn't need any help.
I have Glexo, but like I barely use it. I need to start using. I need to buy that stuff.
I'm sorry, you're not fixing fucking dents, dude. Like you need to
fast at least.
It's so efficient. I hate that I only have one because I carry it from my truck to the shop every day. Like if I know, okay, I got a mobile job, I'm taking it with me no matter what. Because you just don't know. Like it saves me so much.
At your shop?
Yeah, and I'm like, God damn, I could use it for this. You know, and it's working great. It's a fantastic tool. And he's got a lot of cool stuff. So I was like, I reached out to him and I was like, you got to come on here. You got a lot of new stuff dropping. You got a lot of new stuff. And I've got an announcement. I don't know if you guys heard it on the Ginger Bros show. I'm not doing the Black Friday show this year. Weird is so busy at work. That's what I was saying to Alex earlier today. He didn't even know till tonight. I told Matt a couple days ago when I talked to him, and I was like, we're working 14 hours a day, 6 days a week. We are so busy. I just don't have the time. I mean, it takes me so much time to set it up. So I did talk to John Vidine, I guess a week or so ago, and just said, hey, do you want to take it over? So he's going to take it over for right now and keep it going. It's just a lot of work. So hope you guys aren't disappointed. I'm sorry, but shit is real right now where we are. It's the hail still coming. The shop's busy. It's just crazy. So, and it's a weird storm. I was talking to a hail guy the other day, and it's not like a standard hailstorm. It's one of these storms of it's absolute chaos because all the body shops don't exactly know what they're doing, and you try to coach them and they don't want, they don't really make the changes. So it's been a thing to where I don't want to bring somebody here and it'd be a disaster. The stuff at my shop runs seamlessly. Like it's fantastic. So
it happened in 2010 in Arizona. Like no body shops knew how to write hail.
Oh my God. It's so crazy, man. I'm like, where have you guys been? Like, did the pandemic erase how this stuff works? Like, let's get a system here, and it's one of those things right now we're in the spot of we're booked out till January. It's crazy. Like, it's not even fun. This is not fun for me.
It's a good problem.
It's a great problem to have, but you know what? The wintertime, dude, I've been doing this so long. The wintertime, I like to kind of regroup a little bit.
Yeah.
Enjoy life because summertime's busy for us. Like that's our time, right? Like we're just always on the go. Wintertime, we kind of regroup and stretch your legs a little bit and do a couple dents, make a couple bucks, and you're okay. But it's been crazy. So it's a great thing to be. But booking in January in November is just not fun. It's crazy. Right. Some of them are bad. I mean, some of the cars are $15,000 claims, and we've got a lot of military moving around. So we're getting the Texas and the Colorado cars. Like we have a Texas car at the shop right now that's, it's got rings in the windshield, look like a softball hit it. It's bad. It's bad. So they were like, push what you can and then we'll pick it back up. And I'm like, that sounds like a plan. We're pushing 5 dents on the deck lid and you're fixing 40 dents on the deck lid. So, but you guys don't get a whole lot of hail there, right?
No, it hails in pockets. Like a few months ago, it hailed in East Mesa, and like all the dent guys that are around there, I've kept it real quiet. But it's not big enough for someone to come, travel to. 2010 was like a catastrophic hailstorm.
Yeah,
but it has that.
And this isn't a cat. Like this is just it. Literally hit rush hour traffic in one town. And only on this major road that everybody goes from Maryland to Pennsylvania from. And it's crazy. Like I have a car that we just delivered today. It was like $15,300. And he said he was driving down. He was at a red light to make a U-turn. He got hit with hail. He made a U-turn and drove back into the storm. So it was both sides, so it was super cool. It was awesome.
It's a good hail car.
Yeah, it was fun. Everything's a Subaru. We're fixing Subarus and Lexuses. That's all we're getting right now. I fixed more Subarus than I have in 25 years.
Really?
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
I did a Subaru dealership. I used to do them all the time.
And I used to hate Subarus. Now I'm like, Josh is like, you know how hard that Subaru hood is? I'm like, bro, we've done 3,000 of these things. We should know.
The Subaru aluminum is actually pretty good. It moves good.
The problem with Subaru is glue pulling is what scares me. That's why I love the cold snap because I'm rarely pulling paint.
Yeah, I pull more paint on like Chrysler and Dodge now than any other make.
So let's get Boy Ed on and get going through this. MTE's coming up. I'm super excited for that. It should be a really good show. I'm excited. A lot of good speakers for Educational Day. I'm speaking with Dr. Color Chip. So if you guys are even interested in that, it's definitely worth coming to see. The proof is in the pudding. So it should be a really good show. I'm going to get Tony on here before MTE live to kind of talk about his products a little bit and kind of go over what we're going to go over while we're there. And good.
It's a really nice set. I saw it when I was over there. at your
It
shop.
is that kit has been one of I can't keep telling you guys what my tools are this year. I'm giving them all away, but it's been a really good addition to my business, and just true money we're making on it now. Like I've pretty much paid for the kit.
Yeah.
It's a fantastic kit just for certainly for what we're doing. Like we had a gray, like a Nardo gray GT3, a 23 GT3 in this week, and it had like 2 rock chips, and Sean just mixed he's a painter, so he just mixed a couple colors together, and I'm like, God damn, the color matches look great. So,
does it come with like all the different pins?
It comes with everything. I don't know all the kits. I got the full kit.
Yeah.
But it's little mixing cups and ball bearings. Like I always give, if I charge a customer, like we had an R8 come on, like a lime green R8, and I had to order the paint from Dr. Color Chip, and I charge them. Mm-hmm. I charge them $75 to order the paint plus the application.
Yeah.
And they give you empty bottles in your kit, so I'll give him a little bit of that touch up in there just as a gift, just saying, hey, here's some of the touch up too. So it's a pretty cool. It's a pretty cool, yeah. So, but let's get Matt on, get these tools rocking and rolling. Next week, obviously, we're not doing a show, which would be our Black Friday show. The following week, we're going to be doing our top 5 tools of the year. So it's going to be one that you want to tune into. And then we're going to do a Dr. Color Chip show, and then a couple more, and we got MTE. Should be fun. I'm also trying to organize and handle and help Kevin and Sheldon with the podcast row there. So the good thing is we've got hard internet plug-in, so that's super awesome because last year was really bad. And we've got some equipment there that's going to be there. All we'll have to do is plug in our computers and we can rock and roll. So it should be a lot better this year. We're going to try to have a board with everybody's times. So if somebody's walking by, they'll know, okay, the Ginger Bros are on at 2:30 and the Dent Nerds are on at 3:30. So we're going to do it and I really want to try to keep it for that Friday and Saturday instead of Thursday. And, it's too spread out. So
yeah.
People want to see the guys that have been watching for years and see the show live. So I think it'll be good.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
That place is huge. So if you haven't booked your hotel, it's a huge place. So it should be a lot to do.
What's the hotel called?
The Gaylord.
The Gaylord.
Yeah.
Those are pretty nice hotels, aren't they?
Yeah, it's a really nice. I mean, there's like a water park hooked to it. There's like 4 or 5 pool. I mean, it's a big place. So, and then the PDR Interviews boys are having the Keeping It Real fishing tournament on Wednesday. So I don't know who's going to that. But that looks like a bunch of fun if I could miss another whole day of work.
Right.
But let's get Matt on and get rocking and rolling. What's up, Boyette? Boyette's muted. He's got no sound.
Good evening.
There you are.
How's it going?
How are y'all?
I'm good. How about yourself?
I'm doing well. Actually, I'm a little under the weather, so I'm a little sniffly tonight. But I woke up with a sore throat and a little bit of a runny nose, and so I'm just doing a vitamin. What is that? That vitamin C, energy. Emergency. Yeah, that stuff. Yeah. But
now I've got a question right off the bat. First, we're going to start with Matt. Who are you? What company do you own? And let's start with that.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm Matt Boyette. I'm in Jacksonville, Florida. I own All Out Paintless Dent Removal here. We have 2 locations, one in Jacksonville and one in St. Augustine, as far as retail shops. And then we service quite a few dealers around town too. On top of that, I do own Dent Slayer Tools. So we make and sell. Everything I make and sell is through A1 Tools. So I don't actually make the tools as far as I'm not back there grinding and stuff. But
I don't know. Hold on. You got to reverse that a little bit because you made the pack out stuff and you've made your.
True.
So you made some stuff. So you got to,
Yeah. Yes, I do. I have made quite a few things, but I don't have a machine shop in my backyard like some of those guys do. But so I developed the tools for Dent Slayer tools, and they're all sold exclusively through pdrtool.com, A1 Tools, and there's a lot on there. Steady growing list, man. It's been really exciting.
Do you still make the pack out? Because I got your original one, and it's pretty cool.
I don't, and that kind of started because there were no pack outs available at the time.
Yeah.
And so I was just buying the mod rails, for full price from 2MB1 from Chad and those guys, and they didn't want to do that, which was fine. I did it, and but then they just quit making them. Chad got out of the business and sold to Todd, and then they kind of scrapped the mod rails, and they're just not available. And then honestly, better things at better price points came out, and I was only doing that out of guys asking me to do it. I made my own, and then guys were like, hey, make me one. So I was just doing it for guys. I did one for you.
Yep.
And I really appreciate that. That was the first, as far as I know, the first pack out that was available for paintless dent removal was the one that I made.
For sure was. Everyone else was using that DeWalt one.
Yeah.
That real skinny one.
Tough stack thing. Yeah. But I don't do that anymore. I've gotten away from that just because they're not available to do. And you can't even really get parts for them anymore. I got a bunch of parts if anybody's missing a
bracket. Did they close the site or what?
I don't know that. I do know, obviously Todd bought that part of it from Chad. As far as my understanding goes, Todd bought Chad out of 2MB1, and he's just been slowly reintroducing some products back into the line, like the crown jewel, I think the hatch hanger, some of the other things, but yeah, the mod rails that they haven't brought that back. There was a lot of moving pieces for those mod rails. I kind of don't blame them. Meaning to build that from scratch, that's a hard thing.
I remember Chad's wife was in there folding ABS plastic in the evening. You know what I mean? It was.
Yeah. There's a lot of work for those.
I remember you telling me you had your son helping you put those together.
Yeah, I was paying my son. I literally gave my son half of what I made to help me do those. Just trying to get him going into business, and it was a lot of tedious work. Stuff that he could do, not really complicated. I just got there and kind of coach him through what to do, and he's helping me do it. And it was a cool little moment for us. But yeah, we don't really do that anymore.
Now I do have a question here. Lewis is asking, what brand is a slide hammer that I had on the show a few shows ago? It's Gold Snap.
It's Gold Snap. I've got two of them here. These are mine. These are my personal ones. This is how basically how it comes. I just put a bicycle handle grip on it. That's all this is. So don't get hung up on that. And then this was the prototype of a this is actually off of a skateboard trucks. This is but then we converted that to an O-ring. So if you buy it, it'll come with a little black O-ring right here and no grip. Other than that, this is it. So it's got screw in cold glue tabs. So it is basically a cold glue specific slide hammer. So you don't have to worry about your tabs binding up in the little T slot. You don't have to worry about them getting loose and falling out when you're snapping it. Yeah. And you can swap them out, depending upon the weather, kind of how it hooks up. Sometimes it's in the morning, it's different than in the evening. This is my other one. It's got a crease tab with Sergio blue on it. This thing's been rode hard and put up wet right here.
Yeah.
I really like how it screws in, because like the other ones I have are VIP, and like if they fall off the slide hammer and hits the asphalt or anything,
well, not even that. The problem I always had was the slide hammer would slide off the tab and sometimes scratch the car.
Right.
That is just so thoughtless process. Like you're literally just reaching and watching where you're putting it. You're not worried about the tab. You're not two-handing it. You can one hand stick that thing and pow, and one hand pow, pow, pow.
It's
the
really
hardest part
efficient.
out of the whole repair process is sometimes the glue, because it leaves residue on there. You know, I'll go back and I'll hit it with the cold snap. One thing I've realized in the last week is I've literally been spraying the panel where I'll hit it with like 5 or 6 spots on a rail, or say a quarter, and I'll spray with alcohol and I'll let it sit, and then I'll come back and spray the towel with alcohol and spray one more time, and it wipes right off. So I don't know if it's softening it while it's on there. I don't know, but that's what I started doing this week, and I was like, okay, this is great.
Huh.
Have you ever tried Glexo with those tabs and slide hammer? Is it different than
this Glexo?
That's Glexo.
Yeah. And as you can see, like right now, it's soft, and it's kind of chilly here, but
yeah.
This Glexo is soft, whereas this Sergio Blue, I mean, it's like a rock right now.
Yeah, you gotta torch it.
Yeah, it's so that's why I have it. I mean, I haven't been really using the blue in the last month or so. It's all been the Sergio or the Glexo black. But the beauty is that you can switch to tabs pretty quick. You know, so you come. I don't have them here, but it comes with a tab holder. It comes with 4 tabs: dime, nickel, quarter, and crease. And then it comes with a little tab holder. You can just pull them out and switch between tabs depending on the size you need and or the glue you have set up on the tabs.
Now, the only thing that is missing from that set is something to store that in. So I've got it in a piece of Tupperware. But if you had something that would sit down in, and it's not in the back of your truck and the tabs are sticking to everything and it's getting hair in it. If you had something that was sealed and you could just walk in and out or in your box or whatever. Sorry. Just making you some more tools.
Man, I made one for myself. I just used the Milwaukee bit holder. You know, the thing that you buy from Home Depot, it's just the little red case that holds bits. I just pulled all that stuff out and put those in there, and it works great. And it's cheap. You know, I did talk to A1 about potentially making some of that, but they get kind of lost a little bit with some of that, and they are busy. This is their busiest year to date, from what I understand. And they've, you know, I believe that they've doubled their orders this year from last year, like from what they were doing last year, like in a given month.
Well, it's like a labor of love. Maria put a shit ton of work for 2 years on social media and did a really good job. You know what I mean? So you're growing and pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing. You had the Reaper stuff. You had your stuff. There's a lot of really good tools that have come out of there. So,
yeah,
you know.
Well, we're only
Excalibur.
doing more, man. We're only doing more tools. So I don't know if you guys saw, but I went there last week and I spent 2.5 days there at A1, just doing tool development. So there's a handful of items. I have a couple here, but these were already kind of done before I went. But there's another handful of items we were trying to get ready for MTE, just to have, just kind of, you know, when I'm dealing this stuff with John and when we're talking about the tools and I'm developing the stuff, and then I'll mail stuff to John and he mails stuff to me. That conversation can take way longer than it needs to be if I was just there. And so when you're doing some of these complicated tools, even like this took a lot of development. And so I was kind of getting frustrated with, I was like, man, I just need to go there. I just need to go to Bolivar, spend a couple days. They can lock the shop and leave me in there and let me go with those machinists and the guys in the back and just do this. And I can just knock it out really quick instead of back and forth for a month. And so I did that last week, and man, it was an amazing time. I learned so much from being there. You know, they have 18 employees or 19 employees. Like, that's a big operation. And it's really cool. Some of those employees have been there for, I think, 25 years, if I'm not mistaken.
Wow.
Like, that's crazy. That's crazy. I had no idea. So I took my friend James with me, and he kind of video documented the whole thing. There's going to be a couple really cool videos that are coming out of that experience. He kind of did like a little kind of sneak peek. we did like a how it's made. You seen that show, How It's Made? Where
Yeah.
so we did a how it's made of a one of my new tools I'm doing from just stock on the shelf to a finished tool like in my hand. So he's doing that. He's editing that. So he went with me. Huh?
Where can we see that?
It'll be on my YouTube channel as soon as it's done. Yeah, it's not out yet. There is one that we did that kind of it's like a spotlight for John Kallenbach. We posted that. That's on my YouTube channel, and that talks a little bit about it. You can see kind of background of the shop and stuff. But this one we're doing really highlights the technicians who are building the tools, the fabricators in the back, and you can go through the whole process, and it is sick. Like, it's awesome.
Everyone loves behind the scenes stuff.
Like, you're gonna be like this watching it.
Yeah.
Like it's like I'm not kidding. Like we were watching at the airport come back because we were kind of editing up, and it's like I'm like, oh my gosh. I said every technician is gonna watch this from front to back. Like it's really cool. Stuff I had no idea.
Yeah.
And so but I went out there and I spent 2 days with them, and man, I'm just telling you, I don't want to let the cat out of the bag, but one of them should release Black Friday. If they can get it done, it should release Black Friday. And it's gonna be my what do you call it? Pièce de résistance, or my what do they call it? I don't know.
I don't know
greatest invention yet. It's sick. It's really sick.
What's the thread on that cold snap?
The same as your threads on all your tools. 5/16, 18. Yep. So any tip will go in there. Nice. I haven't done a whole lot of playing with it, but you can put like a normal red tip in there, and you can bump out like a quarter panel with it, or if you're into doing that kind of thing. We try to make it a versatile thread, so that's an expandable platform. Our hope is that maybe we could do some kind of edgy hookers that can screw into it and kind of bump out a panel, something like that. Maybe Dave Stream could just make them to fit it. But we wanted it to be an expandable platform, and this also comes with an adapter. It doesn't come with it. You can buy it. It's an adapter that allows for a normal glue tab.
Yeah.
So you can convert this to a T-slot and just do normal glue pulling with it. But we wanted this to be a platform that you could kind of build upon and scale out for however you want to do it. Actually, I mean, this isn't even my tab. This is John Vidine's dolly tips.
Oh, really?
That's what that is. And I just put cold glue on it, and I've been using it like that. But you can use whatever, man. And those all the tabs fit in there. It's been a really good. If you're doing wholesale, Alex, you need to buy that like right now. And I'm not telling you that.
And I'm going to tell you right. I'm going to tell you right now. You buy that, and you call me and say it's the biggest piece of shit, and you're never going to use it. I will send you the money back, and you can throw it in the fucking trash.
Here's the problem with Arizona. In this, like, for 5 months out of the year, I got to store cold glue, any cold glue, in a cooler.
I'm telling you, that blue Sergio's glue doesn't get like Glexo, man. It's a different material.
Really?
It's different. Yeah. It's right now. It's almost like plastic. Like it's really, it's really dense. It's not at all like the black.
It's totally different.
And it's
I've
cheap.
never taken the blue and pulled it and made a big stringy mesh like Glexo.
You've never done that?
Never done that. Now with the red, sometimes with really hot temperature, it'll stay on the panel.
There's red, blue, and green, isn't there? What is the temperature? It's all different temperatures.
So I mean, I might be wrong. Somebody can chime in there, but the red is the softest, and then the blue, and then supposedly the green. From what I heard, the green was for like steel bumpers and stuff. Like it's really kind of brittle. I haven't done much application with the green. The red, depending on the season, the red was hooking up really good. Then I went to blue, and now I'm in black. That's just for North Florida, where I'm at. Right now it's like hoodie weather outside, and I'm using the black.
I'm still using red,
okay.
But I'm inside. So
yeah, well, that's none of my environments are climate controlled. Yeah. But this thing is money, man. I mean, I can run wholesale with this. I keep both of these on my tool cart, and if you're doing Subarus, like this thing just moves. You can pull out stuff you didn't even think. You will
really.
I fully 100% believe this will change how you repair a car.
100%.
Meaning you will start with this before you go grab a tool.
And I will 100% back it because it's a fantastic tool. You know, and Matt was talking about this tool for a while. You know, Matt and I talked quite a bit, and I'm like, oh, it's cold glue, you know, whatever. Then it came out, and I was watching it for a little while, and then Josh got one first, and I tried it. Josh like, bro, I'm telling you, this is like, you get to see it in his eyes. And I grabbed it and I used it on some stuff, and that same Saturday I was like, bloop, 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 ordered it. And then I talked to Matt, and I was like, I ordered Cold Snap, and he's like, for real? And I'm like, yeah. I was like, it's the baddest fucking thing I've used. It's something about the weight.
You told me you did like half a hill car with it.
I said that to him too. I said we did like a $7,000 hill car. Me and Josh literally just it was a bunch of really smalls, and we just I didn't push anything on the roof.
Wow.
I didn't push one dent. And it saves you so much time.
Usually to me the toughest part of a hail car is that front part of the roof, right in the front of the sunroof, where nothing's great access. You know, every car is kind of different. Sometimes wheel tails work, sometimes they don't. This thing, you can go right up in there and you can just bump up most of the stuff. Again, it's not going to fix smash stuff. No. I mean, it's cool. Like it's not what's going to do. But for half the dents that are up there, you could probably reduce, if not make high, that whole area, and then just knock it down. It's really should change how you fix cars. I
just have a Lexus. It's the new Lexus electric. It looks like a RX 350, but it's smaller. And it's only got a roof, and it's only about this big, right? Yeah. But there's zero access back there. Like you can drop the headliner. It's just a mess of bracing because it's glass all the way to the windshield. I used the whole Cold Snap to do the whole roof. It was $1,100 they paid me for that spot. And some of them were big. You know, you reduce them and just keep coming at it. Keep coming at it. Knock it down. Reduce. Knock it down. It's badass.
Ryan, I know you said you were talking about your shoulder. Do you ever pull this way?
Yeah, I started.
Yeah, I try to pull that way when I can, because I feel like I have a better snap that way.
Yeah.
And
the other problem,
it's a stronger muscle group than just doing this all day.
The other problem I was having with it was, and I didn't realize it, and I've been doing this so long. If you don't pull directly straight, it's just like anytime you're glue pulling. You know, it kept pulling high on my side, and I'm like, fuck, I keep missing it. But now I'm getting it to where I know exactly, and just I mean, one hand and it's done. And the other thing that I've learned with it is with the Sergios, put as little bit of glue on there as you can put. Does not need like Glexo. It needs like the smallest head of an eraser is what I'm using as red, the size of a pencil eraser, and it is the best.
Well, what I get fearful of, and this is part of the design of these, are all of my tabs are polished smooth like a blending hammer. So none of them have the lines in it or gripping waffle face like a framing hammer or anything like that. Because if you do want to run it thin and you go to mash that into a car, you can destroy that paint pretty quickly. So all of mine, you can't see them, but all of mine are polished underneath. But yeah, I keep mine a little thicker so that I can mash it in there and snap it. But yeah, you can use a little bit of. I always kind of, if I'm trying to pull like a specific dent out, I just kind of make it like a Hershey kiss there, Yeah. And then we can put it right in the dent, and just pop it right up. But man, it'll change how you repair cars. I fully believe that. From wholesale to retail to hail, it'll change it.
I'm thinking about
just buy it, Alex.
Well, I have his Bigfoot lateral tension stuff, and I was thinking using that, and then at the same time would help on smashes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'm sure.
100%.
What else you got, Matt, that's new that you've released here in the last few weeks?
Yep. So, well, the Slegos here. I know Alex was asking me what these were. So this is an edge protector. So I don't have anything here that can, I can simulate it, but it's just going to go on the edge of a panel. Like, let's say you pull out a third brake light and you want to preserve that hole. You don't want to distort it. You can put this on there, and there's a groove that runs down it. Let's see here. I don't know. There, right there. And it just locks down, and it has these little plastic nuts. You just tighten down, and it'll grip it. But what's cool about it is it comes apart. So depending upon the size hole that you're trying to preserve. So the little tiny hole where you pull the tag lights out.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there you go. These would not work. So you can put this in there and tighten it down on there, and it preserves that hole. They have these little so they're cut like that, so your tool rests in there, and it kind of gives a nice surface.
Can you buy those right now? Because I'm gonna buy them.
Yeah, they're on the website right now. I think it's like $60, $59 for the set of 3. And then, like I said, they lock together, really like that. So you can build it. You're trying to just preserve whatever most of that hole is. So you just kind of build it out accordingly to the size hole. And if you bought 2 kits, you could hook 2 together. Like, it's infinitely buildable.
I wonder if some of those may work on motorcycle tanks too.
Yes, I'll show you some photos, dude. The last 2 motorcycle tanks I've done. You pull out the on the bottom. I think it was a Fat Boy. You pulled out like the fuel sending unit, and it's like a big square in there, and this just goes right on there. On some of them, you pull that whole speedo cluster right out of the top, and there's a big hole.
Yeah, like
these will go right
like
in
a
there.
Dresser. Too. Yeah.
Yes. Yep, they'll work.
How did you come up with that? Because I have like the DentCraft big blocks, but they can't fit in most stuff,
I was working on a car. All my stuff usually comes from working on something and seeing the need for it and knowing that it's not out there. No one's answered that yet. And then saying, hey, let me see if I can make that. But yeah, this came out of necessity. This came out of needing to get to get in there with one of these small ones.
Yeah,
and
I really like the name. It's Lego and it breaks up to small. I really like that.
Yeah.
Now, can you buy the smaller pieces individually, or is it just sold as the packs? And then, like, say you wanted to add to that.
It comes in a pack of 3. I think it's a 1-inch, 2-inch, and a 4-inch, and it's $60 for the pack of 3.
Okay.
$59.95 or something.
Okay.
But yeah, man, it works really well. It works really well.
Slego.
It saves your holes.
Yeah. I like it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna buy that tonight.
There you go. The other one that we just released today is this guy.
Nice. That's awesome.
So
I was gonna order one right before the show because that thing. I've known me and you have talked about this. I don't know for how many months.
Yeah, this has been coming out. This has been probably 3 to 4 months of development for this thing. Yeah, me and you were going round and round about it.
Yeah.
I will tell you, there are only 100 of them. Actually, 98 because I have to. So there's only 100 of them made. So if you do want one, you should get it. I mean,
are you gonna just do one batch?
Well, here's the thing. This costs a lot of money to get 100 made, and you don't want 50 sitting on a shelf. And some guys like that's so you kind of have to test the market a little bit to see what people want and if they like it. And so if it is a hot seller, then obviously I'll get some more made for sure. But I didn't want to just overextend and get a bunch made and then be sitting on a bunch of unused, unsellable inventory. Yeah. But these things are awesome. On the thing, beautiful. You can see the color variation in it there. It's heat treated.
What is the head made out of?
4140 heat treated steel. So it's all machined. It's not cast. It will, if you're hitting it with a stainless knockdown, it will distort a little bit. This is not made to touch painted surfaces. That's not why we made this.
You can if you like.
Go for it. But that's not why we designed this. We designed it to be a knockdown specific tool. You and I, you trained with Bryce. I trained with Bryce.
I have that one.
On day 5, he's back there with a chop saw cutting the spikes off the one that he gets to give you, I
still use that today.
I've been using that hammer forever. Because it was a Snap-on hammer originally. You know what I mean? But it went almost scarce. Like you could not find that exact. It's not that exact hammer, but the same concept without the spike on the back.
Yeah. Well, the one that Bryce gives with the training is just longer here. And I don't really like that as much. Like it'll kind of roll on you when you're hitting if you're not kind of dead center. This one, it's just called a close face body hammer. So
how's the weight compared to the Snap-on?
It's a little lighter in a good way. Like it's more. It feels better. The Snap-on is way thicker here. In this neck. Sorry, I don't know where I'm going. So this one's a little thinner. It just feels better. It feels a little more polished. And like I said, we left the handle wood because a lot of guys like doing that. And we know you're gonna do that. I mean, this hammer's made to get used. This isn't the pretty hammer you sit. I mean, even though it is pretty, we know you guys are gonna beat this up.
It almost looked like Dominicus metal. The head.
Damascus.
Yeah.
So it does have that rainbow. It's not Damascus, but it is heat treated, and it does have that kind of rainbow effect.
Look.
And that's in the tempering of the metal. When we temper it, it kind of gives off that. You can see it's kind of gold here and blue here, blue there.
Yeah.
So that's in the tempering of it, and all of them are going to look a little different as far as the way that it kind of quenches. It'll give off a little bit different color. Some of the original ones are almost gold, and some of them are dark blue or purple.
How much is that hammer?
I believe it is $139 on the website right now. I'm gonna check as we speak. $139.
What wood is that?
It is American hickory.
Okay.
And it's stained red. Try to give it a little flare there. But this thing's beautiful, man. It feels really good. And it feels really good holding it this way, like that. Like when you hit it like that too, like it feels really good.
You get it with like a black handle, or is it just red?
Nope, right now it's just red. Maybe the next run we might change it up or something if guys want to change it up. But we thought it kind of gave a little bit of good contrast. We didn't want to just go with bare wood. It kind of
Now is your logo laser etched in there? Or?
Yeah, laser etched. Yep. Can't really.
Oh, see it.
Yeah, on both sides.
That turned out nice.
It did. It's really cool, man. It's really cool.
Now I have to buy 2 tools.
You better wait.
One.
Oh, I mean, buy these, but then just hold on to some of your cash for Black Friday because I'm not even kidding, man.
The one I got from Bryce, I use it every day. It's gotten loose a little bit.
So on any wood hammer, they'll probably do that, and that's just the expansion and contraction of the wood. And the best way to do that is just drop it on the concrete just like this, and it'll seek that down. And if it has that little thing, you can just set it with a nail punch. Don't use your knockdowns, but you use like a nail set and drive that down, and it'll help seat it. But that's just the that's just the wood contracting and expanding. Your floors that in your home, all wood's going to do that. It's in a metal, but you just got to kind of reseed it a little bit and it'll fill back. I haven't had that happen with these, but I'm sure at some point it will. It's just the nature of a hammer. But
it's probably the best looking metal hammer I've seen.
And you know what? What I like for them too is when you're, if you're trying to hammer out like the backside, like if you're up in a bedside, where the longer hammers they're not going to do it. You can go in with a tight space and you kind of bump it out a little bit.
Right.
The other thing I do with that snap one that I have like that, when I do that, is I put glue on the face and just give it a little softer, because that edge, if you pull that hammer up, sometimes that edge, and you can see the end, sometimes that edge will make a nasty high if you're doing that. So I'll bury that whole top in glue.
Yep.
And it really helps.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah. But yeah, bumping out from the inside, definitely use it that way. Again, I would just avoid doing it on the paint, because you're gonna as soon as you hit this with a knockdown, it's gonna be ruined, for that.
Try it. Let's just try it.
But yeah, man, this has been probably 4 months in the making to get this, and like I said, we only got 100 made, so I don't think I would have any more until probably March or something, way after MTE. So we might not even have any for MTE if they're sold out before then.
Now, another tool that you obviously probably don't have with you is the rat rods. I think that was the name of it. They kind of look like a tail.
Yep.
That were 2 sizes. That tool I bought at MTE, and it's one of those tools. It's kind of like the shut-ups. You're only going to use them when you need them, right? You're not going to use them all the time. But in that quarter, when you pull the flare and you're snaking up that hole, there's nothing like that tool.
There's nothing like it. Today I used it on an airplane wing. So yeah, man. They're really tight access on an airplane wing. You can't just put any old tool in there. And that metal, that aluminum is like paper thin. And so if you go in there with a sharp tool, it's just going to kind of prick it up really bad. And so I actually used that rat rod, and it was on the bottom of an airplane wing. So I'm kind of like this, and I put that in there, and I kind of, you could pressure and you kind of roll it and just kind of like roll it out, and just rolled that crease out of that, and it's just paper thin aluminum. So I don't know what else I would have used to do that. I mean, I'm not saying that there's not another tool, but it just worked perfectly for that. Nice soft face pushing surface, and you could just kind of just roll that crease out, and it did really, really well, surprisingly.
What do you call your big rod, the real thick one, like 7/16?
The one that Bryce posted today, was that the one?
The other one.
The
one that's like a double bend, but it's huge. I have it.
So that's the Kingslayer.
Yeah.
It's a double bend. That's 9/16.
9/16.
Yep. And then I have so that's the Kingslayer. It's a double bend. And then I have the Kingslayer Severed, which is if you cut that double bend off and it's just straight, and it's threaded on both sides. So if you imagine this is the straight end of the tool, it's got a thread there and a thread here, and it's just whacked right off right there.
That Kingslayer one, that's the only tool that I've ever used that's rod that has like as much power as a dent dial.
That thing is a monster.
It's awesome, man. The 2 guys that work with me, I let one borrow it. He wouldn't give it back for 2 weeks.
So the kind of concept for that tool was off of those Challenger front fenders, because they're so kind of long as far as from where the tire is to where you need to push. It can be 14, 15 inches, and by time you put like a 1/2-inch tool in there, you're starting to get bend out of it, and that metal is so strong on those fenders. So that's kind of where that came out of, was for just needing a lot of power up in that fender. Yeah, man, that thing is that thing is a workhorse. That thing is money. You should look at the severeds too, which is just the cutoff, because those are
9/16 too.
Yeah, they're both 9/16.
Okay.
It's just one's, I think, 32 and one's 38. But they're just a straight shafted tool, and they're awesome. I just released the Johnsons, my T-handle Johnsons. If you're not, you don't? Did you ever use a Johnson, Alex?
No, I wasn't a Dent Wizard guy.
I mean, that's kind of a staple for Dent Wizard guys, is a Johnson.
Yeah.
That's one of the first tools you're handed or learn how to use is the Johnsons. And so, the problem with the Johnson is they're highly bendable. But then as soon as you get a bend in it, it's like a pick handle, but with a bend. And so then as soon as you put any kind of tension on that tool or pressure on that tool, it wants to flop on you. And so guys would stick their hammer in there to kind of hold that thing direct, or the window wedge and lock it on there in some monkey way, trying to get things just to try to make a T-handle. So anyhow, I was like, I need to make one of those. That came out of my Rivian dent. I needed one, and I needed a 3/8 one with a nylon tip, and so all right, I'm going to make one of these. And so we made the set. So we've got a 3/8, 7/16, and 1/2-inch Johnsons. They all come with nylon screw-on interchangeable tips, and a T-handle, and that is money. That's a money set between the Johnson and a nylon tip and a T-handle. They're just great. And
we used to use nylon tips on there back in the day. You know what I mean? They had a weird, Dent Wizard had an old weird, the tool had the threads and not the tips were.
They would always break. Ultra had some of those.
It was terrible.
Yeah, they were terrible. That was when the industry was still trying to find the standard of what it is. And now industry standard is, 5/16, 18. And so that's what we've done. But that nylon, it just pushes something different. I just developed a tool, the one we're going to be doing the video on. I'm calling it the Bodyline Killer, and it'll come with a nylon tip, and that thing is money. If you got a Challenger front door where that body line is, this is your tool. This is the tool, bro.
You know what I used to do with the ultra double bends? I take that VIP knockdown that's long and it's small but skinny.
Yeah.
For the hard hit lines. And I put down double bend and I push those body lines out. It's a knockdown tip, but I would push with it, and it worked great on those body lines. But just the way it was shaped, I was like, someone should come out with a tip for that.
Yeah. Well, we've been dabbling. I've been dabbling. This year we came out with a few tips. Actually, this year was a big year for me. Well, yeah. This year we came out with quite a few things. We had a lot of stuff at MTE. MTE was a hit, and then it just projected me forward even more with just what I'm trying to do. I've got a lot of big things that we should be revealing at MTE. Hopefully, if we can get them all. I don't want to speak out of turn, but if we can get them all done, you definitely need to come by A1's booth. Besides these things, I probably have a dozen other things that we're going to have at MTE. Wow. That some of them are just, I believe, there's nothing else. There's nothing else like it. Zero like it. I can 100% say that with confidence. Yeah.
Well, where can people buy this stuff?
PDRtool.com, exclusively sold at A1 Tool. So check on there. You have the Dent Slayer tab. You can lock on or click on there, and it'll populate all my stuff. We're gonna have some more of these hats. Guys are liking these hats. I know the Richardson. I'm trying to get Richardson instead of these. I guess guys don't like the new eras. They all want the Richardson. What are your hats, Ryan? Are they Richardson?
They are, but I like the The problem I have with Richardson is they're not real deep here.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, they are shallower than these on my head even.
I'm trying to remember
That's why
the name.
I like them.
It was another company that I used.
I use Richardson.
Yeah, that's a Richardson 110.
I use Brandon Bills. They were in Tempe, Arizona, so I just went there, and they've always made my stuff. They're big now, but
yeah,
they make
Pacific Headwear is my favorite.
Okay,
they were two guys that worked at Richardson and left and started Pacific Headwear.
Okay, so we're trying to really this year too. I'm trying to push a lot more soft goods. Hats. I'm going to bring some shirts. Does seem to be kind of a hit last year. I know I've tried to keep these on the website at A1, but I think they sell out. I don't think there's any more on there as available right now, but there might be a couple. But yeah, I'm gonna have a lot of soft goods. I'm gonna have a lot of stickers. I'm gonna have a lot of stuff. And again, if I could stress anything, is please do not miss the Black Friday. I should be going live as of right now. The plan is to go live with John Wednesday, and kind of announce one of my tools, and then I guess the Black Friday sale will start Friday. But I got a video coming out about the tool, and then we're gonna go live with it Wednesday, and I'm really excited. I've been working on this freaking thing for 9 months, bro. 9 months I've been working on this tool. And it's so good. So
Can you tell us what it'll help us with?
It'll help you with fixing dents and being faster at that.
Really?
Yeah. It's crazy, man. I can't because you're gonna see it, and you're gonna instantly understand. It'll translate into your brain why it's so good.
And Johnny just called it a game changer, so he's taking all the swings out tonight. So,
and that's probably the first time John's ever commented on your show. I would venture to say, but it's going to be awesome. It's going to be awesome. I'd love to tell you. I'd love to show you. I don't even have it in my hand yet. We're kind of coming down to the wire, with getting all the parts. So I think John's gonna send me the finished product hopefully here. Tomorrow, and have it for me beginning of the week, so I can share it, because that's why I was just there developing it, and it was just amazing. But I couldn't leave with it because they gotta make a bunch of them. So I have a prototype, but it's not finished. I would never dare show you it because I don't want to give it away, and it's not at all as beautiful as the finished product is going to be. But it's gonna be a hit. I'm not gonna say a game changer because you get crucified for saying that in the PDR world, but I'll let other people say it. But it's really cool, man. I'm super excited about it, and as well as the other stuff that we're gonna have at MTE. I cannot wait. I cannot wait to get there.
Well, Matt, thanks for coming on. I know when I called him the other day and we were talking, and I was like, I'm not doing the Black Friday show. And you're like, it's like silence. And then it was like, you're not. And I was
and that's because I kind of,
you were
no
planning.
offense.
I
was planning, and I was kind of counting like, okay, here we go. This would be awesome. And then you're not having, I'm like, dude, like this was all culminating together. Like this is all.
I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. It's just it's.
Hey, guess what, man? The sun will rise the next day, so it's not the
end
of the world.
I'm really happy that John was. When I talked to John, he's like, "Are you sure?" And I was like, "Yeah." Like,
right.
Take it. Let's go.
You gonna do it next year though, or is it?
I think so. It really depends. On? It's just I can't even explain how different my business is than it was just last year. Even without hail, business is really busy. When you're running multiple services and managing, it's 7 of us managing people. It's a different ballgame, and you're pushing still. So it's a lot.
Wow. I mean, has your business doubled since last year? Or I mean,
Yes.
is it that? Is
Yes.
it okay? It's definitely
Yeah. If you look at our numbers from last year to this year, it's 100% doubled. So it's my wife's like, she's like, we're in it now. Like, here we go. You know, so it's.
How much of that would you have attributed to the hail?
Maybe a quarter, but we're still, I mean, we were still way up.
Good.
You know.
Good. Yeah.
The hail's just putting it at another level, you know.
Yeah.
But the physical business in profits of where we were last year and to where we are now, I think I've just added the right people in the right places, and everything just kept growing. You know, you kept growing, PPF and tint started growing, and then dents pay the bills. They always will pay the bills, right? Because it's just the key of the business. But all the other services just kept growing and growing and growing and growing, and you're like, holy shit, you know. Oh, how is it this way? I mean, Alex saw it when he was in town. Yeah. It's like bonkers, man.
Driving around with him town to different shops, he's like a celeb. Everyone knows Ryan Shutt in that town.
You know, it's 20 years of doing it. You know what I mean? It's 20 years, and you look back, and it's tough right now. You know, I mean, we're working. Granted, we have hail, but we're working 14 hours a day, 6 or 7 days a week. And I'm sitting back and I'm dog ass tired. And you sit back and you're like, I try to absorb it in, you know, because you're so in it. You're like this. You're like a horse. And I'm trying to sit back and be like, this is freaking cool. You know, like you get 5, 10, 15 walk-ins a day, and you're like, this is pretty cool. We're so busy to where I'm closing the shop door and putting signs saying we're closed, and people are banging on the bay door because we can't get the work done because people are coming in.
Yeah.
So it's a super cool situation to be in, you know. But it's freaking hard.
You have that brick building and that storefront on that highway it's a great spot.
Yeah. You know, it's crazy.
Hey, Alex, I got a quick question for you. Mm-hmm. You know, you had me. I talked to you before I went and trained with Bryce.
Yeah.
So I know you went and trained with Bryce. How different? How much has your business changed since that? Like, what would?
So for me, I went and it took me about like 4 months, and then someone that I've known a really long time was like, man, you're getting really fast at stuff. It made me a lot more efficient.
Okay.
And there's like 3 things I really learned from Bryce that, you know, a lot of in your market, a lot of dent guys will act like your friends, but they will not tell you certain stuff. Like, I don't care what anyone says, you know, if they're around you, they don't want to tell you certain stuff. So it helped me be efficient. Like some of these dents that would take me 3 days, I'd work on them for 3 days. Now I could do it in a day and a half.
Okay.
You know, and I'm making a big transition now from wholesale to retail. And that's why I changed my name. I still own both names, but just for like Google, and that worked like really well.
Yeah, because I remember last time I talked to you, which was a while ago, you were mostly wholesale.
Oh yeah,
very little to probably no retail, right?
Like 10% probably retail. Okay. But I have this huge Toyota store that if I lost that, I wouldn't even do wholesale at all. Like if I lost that Toyota store, it's what keeps me. It's huge, man. They do 400 used cars a month.
Wow,
that's crazy.
Like that's a lot. I have one of my guys that goes, we left 2 stores that I was doing because they weren't paying me. They went like 4 months without paying me. So I just the guy that works with me, Michael, we left those, and he's at Toyota every day, and I'm still there, and it's working out really good actually. So
yeah. And I'm going to spin off of that a little bit. When you said you left 2 stores, a key thing for my business that's actually helped me grow, and this is mainly in the last year and a half, 2 years. Don't be scared to fire customers.
Yeah.
Like you're always like, oh, I want to get new accounts. really focus on your business and figure out where your pain in the ass is, right? Always on fire calls. Everything's a 911 call. He's just a pain in the ass. It's a lot of work. Don't be scared to get rid of him, because then you can focus your time on things that actually make money. It's a big thing that I made a huge change, and it made a big impact on the business.
There is bad business.
Yeah. There's guys that just waste your time. You know, you got to go see the manager and you're there an hour and then he approves 2 cards out of the 8 cards you wrote up. How much time did you lose? You lost 2 or 3 hours.
Oh, yeah.
You could be fixing 2 dents in 2 or 3 hours and making $600. So you got to figure out what avenue you're working in that's actually making you money and you're losing money. You know, we turned down a big account 3 months ago. And I said, I can't do your work anymore. And he's like, well, why not? And I'm like, it's just not cost effective. Your schedule doesn't work with my schedule. It just doesn't work. You know, so if you really want to grow, that's one thing to do, is even retail or wholesale. You know, don't be scared to fire a customer. You know, you'll know when a retail customer calls and he's going to be a pain in the ass. You know, right then.
So, you know, with mine, we do, I don't know exactly what it is, the percentages, but we do a good amount of wholesale and a good amount of retail. And I believe there's pros and cons to both. You know, I mean, you know, it's been raining here in Florida, in Jacksonville, the entire week, straight, nonstop. So all my wholesale just took, you know, I'm not doing anything as far on my wholesale accounts. That was, you know, at least 3 days or 4 days of zero that we could go do there. So there's that. But then on the other side, you know, you get the retail, and then you have either the no-shows or the cancellations or the price shoppers. And so, you know, I like wholesale. I'll probably always be somewhat of a wholesale guy. You know, I was kind of raised on that. So, but it's just when it's not raining, and if you have good dealerships like your Toyota, ones that you can kind of count on that value you as a technician, it's just it's just this steady, like,
always go there and get work if someone bails on you.
Always go there and get work.
Yeah.
And you can count on it like clockwork, versus some of the retail, you know, it could, you know, they all have got their pros and cons. And so I try to keep 1 foot in each world. I do believe the wholesale keeps you fast and efficient. I feel like if all you did for the rest of your career was sit in a retail shop, you'd become the slowest dent guy, because, you know, everything's got to be super clean, which it is, but like, I think you lose a little bit of that speed, efficiency, that hustle, like, let's go. And so I like the wholesale because it kind of keeps you on your toes and keeps that going. But I like the retail because it keeps everything clean and nice and dialed. And so I think it makes you a more well-rounded technician. And, you know, but, you know,
what?
No,
I'm sorry.
What were you going to say?
Yeah.
No, I just said I'll probably never get away from that. You know, here in Jacksonville, we don't get hail. We had 1 hailstorm this year, 1 hailstorm last year, and that attributed for, you know, good substantial peak. But it's something I don't want to build my business on. Is expecting that. I have to build a business that doesn't rely on hail coming in. And if we get hail, super cool. You know, bonuses all around. But I want to build a business that is a sustainable business, that not in a hail-prone area. And so that's where the wholesale really complements the retail for me. For me. But I know it doesn't make sense for everybody.
Yeah. When you went to Bryce, what did you get out of that?
As far as like, what did I learn from Bryce?
Yeah, like, just how did it change your business?
It made me more confident to take on some of the things that I didn't have the confidence to do. So, and I say this with all the most respect. I don't know that my technical skill set improved all that much. it probably did. I'm not trying to take anything away from the experience, but I'm saying the biggest improvement that I think that I took away was, man, I can do that dent.
Well, I think it also helped with your approach too, right? Like you're looking at dent, your approach is different now.
Yes. The last dent I called Bryce on, it was this mangled, blown out antenna hole. The worst antenna hole I've ever done. It's on my Instagram. And I took it on, and then I get it in my shop, and I'm like, I don't know, man. I don't know. And I literally FaceTime Bryce, and I'm like, what do you think? He's like, oh, man, you got it. You can do it. Oh, that's easy. You can do that all day. And I'm like, okay, I guess I can do it. And I got on the phone, and I did the dent, but it's that kind of like, you kind of question yourself or whether or not, what am I doing? Should I do it? What am I getting into? And I don't want to, I don't know. I want to know, has Bryce ever taken on something that he couldn't do? I'm sure he has.
100%.
Yeah, I'm sure he has. Of course he has. But what he also has is this quality of
don't quit.
Don't quit. You're just fix it. Figure it out. I mean, we all know what's fixable, what's not. And even in my head, when I was looking at that antenna hole, I'm like, I'm questioning. But at first, my first answer was, yeah, that's why I brought it in my shop, right? And to begin with. But then I get it there, and I'm kind of like, I don't know, second guessing. And he just kind of gave me the confidence to just push through it and just do it. And so confidence, self-assurance, whatever you want to call those things, it was really good. The mental strength for that, to know what it takes to finish those dents.
It's crazy.
Like, I don't want to be the broken record here, but like, there's no shortcut, man. Like, yeah, there's tricks and stuff that you can use as cold snaps and all kinds of stand liners and things that make our job easier, right? But at the end of the day, you still got to put in the work. You still got to put in the time. It's not like, and that was the biggest thing that I came out of respecting about Bryce, is that sucker put in the time. Like he showed up at 3 a.m. to finish his dent so it could go home that day. Like, there's no showing up at 10. Yeah, there's none of that. I mean, it's just put your head down, fix the dent, get it done. And it's kind of that recipe for success is really what I learned from that. And seeing him do that, it just reaffirms what you need to do to emulate him. And so it was very,
teach that to someone.
You can't. You have to see it.
Teach that. Yeah.
You have to see it. It'd be like going to work out with Cam Haynes, and I don't know, he's in your area, but it's like, or David Goggins, I'm kind of done. You see those guys run past you, and it's like, you're just seeing them do the hard work. And so they're just setting the bar for what you need to do to be successful in that. All you got to do is go run, right? Cam Haynes,
3 a.m.
Put your shoes on and run. Well, like, you're not doing nothing unique other than just doing it. You just got to get out there and freaking do it. It's kind of the same thing. I didn't learn any special tricks that I came home and I'm not allowed to show you guys. It's nothing like that. It's just put your head down and do it, man. And so that was really crucial. And that gave me 100% confidence to really take on the stuff that I'm taking on now. And, I'm still waiting to get in the weeds on something. Like, I've got a couple cars. So next month, I have 4 cars coming from across the country to my shop for me to fix. And I've got a little bit of this going on.
Yeah.
I got to fix them.
Yeah. Are you training people still, or how's that going?
Yeah. So I started training this year, and I've trained a few. And next year, I'm really going to focus more on that. I got to get through MTE. I got to get a lot of these projects knocked out. But I'm doing beginner training. I'm doing advanced training. I'm doing whatever training you want. I'll do it, that I can provide. I've been really focusing on my facility and trying to get my facility up to par, and all the tools And so I believe we got a lot to offer for guys who want to
sure.
train and learn, whether or not you're a beginner and you have no knowledge, or whether or not you're got the basic knowledge and you just need that next step. I'm not trying to do what Bryce is doing. Bryce has his own thing, and I'm not trying to take from that. I'm just trying to be maybe you're not ready to drop that coin to go to Bryce for a week. And you want to kind of a low buy-in, maybe a 2-day advanced training. I can come and I can come down. I can show you quite a bit in those 2 days and maybe get you over your hurdle. So yeah, I'm focusing on that really hard at the beginning of the year.
Nice.
Yeah. So.
Well, Matt, thank you for coming on, man. And hopefully you sell some stuff.
I'm gonna buy that hammer and the Slago.
Well, yeah, like I said, there's only 100 of those hammers, 98 of those hammers. And so, yeah, I wouldn't sleep on them if you want one.
I don't know. You sold 2 of them on the show, so you're less than that now.
Yeah, there's been quite a few sold today. I'm curious to know what the numbers are, but I would imagine
everyday tool for me.
Everyday tool, man, that you will use to mess out of that thing. I fully believe that. But yeah, man, just please be looking for Black Friday, and then just please be looking for me at MTE. I said last year was my breakout year. I think this year is going to be my breakout. My biggest year.
I'm excited.
Yeah,
it's crazy how these new tools just make the job easier, but there's no shortcut in finishing a dent. But
you know what I believe? I believe we're all in a huge experiment, which is PDR, and we're just figuring it out, man. Like who, I don't know. Like we're all, you got a new tension puller thing, and like that comes out, and then in a year there might be something better, and all we're doing is just experimenting on what works and what doesn't work, and it's fun.
I have body guys all the time. They're like, do they patent these? And I was like, by the time you get a patent on it, something new's out.
I think Sal's the only one on that flat bar. He has a patent on that flat bar.
I know Dave Stream's got a lot of patents on his stuff. I mean, he's got a bunch of stuff, but
what's Dave Stream doing? He's in Arizona, and I don't hear like anything about him anymore.
I don't know. I barely talk to him. I do see him posting some stuff here and there, but I imagine he's gearing up for MTE too. But yeah, Dave, if you're listening, make some edgy hookers for this cold snap. 5/16, 18, thread right in the end, bump it out.
That'd be
awesome. Yeah.
Well, guys, make sure you check out the Dent Nerds Black Friday show, which is crazy. I'm saying that, giving it away, but hey, it's a good thing. Make sure you watch it. Go to A1 to buy some of Matt's new stuff, and both of you guys have a great holiday.
And you said he's doing that show Wednesday?
I think it's Wednesday, yeah.
Yeah.
It's Thursday's Thanksgiving. That's usually when it was, but I think he's doing it on Wednesday. I think that's what he said last night.
You used to do it
usually.
I used to do it on Wednesday.
Thanksgiving? On Wednesday. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You guys, thanks for watching. Both of you guys have a great holiday and keep it real.
Appreciate you guys having me on. Appreciate y'all.
See you guys. Bye-bye.